Hi guys, welcome back to Horse Rush. We are here in India, yes, of all places, India, because there are horses here in India that we'll be riding later on today. Now, I'm here with Joe and Carlos. Thank God for me, because I'm keeping them close because I'm scared. Now, we're here for the horse riding safari. It's a 5-day trip, and we're going to film it for you, as well as the MARWARI, the indigenous horse of India. So it's going to be a big story. Don't move, don't leave your seats. Horse Rush from India.
Well, just to let you understand what the dancing movements are and how this originated. Again, as I had said earlier, the Marwari horse was bred mainly for battles, wars, and they had to be trained for the riders who were riding them in war while they were moving their swords and lances, fighting a battle, for the horse to have movements. You know, to move sideways, attack, move back, all those movements which were taught to the horses at the time of battles, especially when the other side we have had in history kings on elephants, and the other attacking king has been on a horse. So the horse had to rear up in front of the elephant for the rider to be able to strike on that height of an elephant, and then move to stay away from the movement of the elephant's trunks, because the elephants were trained to attack the horses, and with their trunks they could knock the riders or the horses off. So all those movements which they used to teach them at that time have actually have come down as dancing steps today. And that's why it is usually the trumpet and drumming which is the main music that these horses learn how to dance. The better the better the music of the drum and the trumpet, the better the horse responds to that. If you just put any ordinary music, all right, you know, he sort of registers, but his movement and that grace and that look is not there in that horse. It's that particular drum beat which makes him. And that's why we try our best that the drummer should be as close as possible to the horse, not very far away. The closer he is, moves with the horse, the better the horse dances. So it's actually all those steps which have now come into being dancing steps. Of course, the jewelry is now replacing the armor. If you see old paintings, you'll find horses with a lot of armor, very heavy armor on the horses also. So it's just that particular concept which has now come into dancing steps. It's very popular nowadays for marriages. People, when the marriage processions are taken out, horses are paid a lot of money just to come to dance in that processions. In fact, in some areas of Marwar, from where the breed comes, people bid for it, because there are not too many horses who dance very well. So it's an actual bidding going on as to whoever pays the highest, that horses will go to that particular marriage procession for the dance. He is one of our best stallions. We have been breeding him in our Marwari bloodlines. We have had a lot of babies from him. They're now in the States also. And he has been in the dancing competitions, in the breeding competitions. He's been winning it for like at least 3 to 5 years. So now he's put in the class of champions of champions. So we just take him for shows, for displays, but he doesn't compete anymore. And in our own horse show here, it's our tradition that we never compete our own horses in any of the events. We just take them out for shows, but on our ground, any horse shows will take place, except the nationals. On the others, we just show the horses and take them out and do their things, but give a chance to all the others who come from outside to have a chance in the competition. 4 different names. They give the names and then they have to do particularly those particular steps. You know, moving sideways, you know, one by one, all the 4 feet, they would be one at a time, moving like that, sometimes with both, and they have different names in the local language to explain. So I hope you enjoyed it.
Melbourne Airport, as you can see, and I've got Crispin Bennett from International Horse Transport. How are you going, Crispin?
Good, thank you.
And what actually process do the horses have to go before they get to this stage?
A lot of things. The main one is that they have to be inspected by the government vet and certified as free and fit and healthy.
Yep.
Different countries require different things,
yeah.
like different blood tests. Some require quarantine, some don't.
Okay.
And yeah, so we generally have the horses for a few days before they go. They get inspected, then we bring them on the truck and bring them out to the airport to load.
And what happens after the truck's here, they get loaded?
We put them in the stalls that are just over there,
Yep.
and then after that they get taken across to the aircraft that's parked on the other side of the buildings on the
Okay.
tarmac, load them up on that, which you'll get to see a little
Yep.
bit later on.
And does actually someone go with them all the way to the trips to make sure
Yeah.
they're healthy, not dehydrated and fed and everything else?
We have a groom that accompanies all horse shipments.
Okay.
The average ratio is 1 groom per 6
Yep.
horses. In this case, it's Bruce Stewart from New Zealand. He's over here to go back with these horses.
Okay. Oh, so these horses are going to New Zealand today, are they?
They're going to New Zealand, and he'll go with them all the way to New Zealand.
Okay. Now, is that by law someone actually has to go with them to make sure they're all right all the way?
Well, I don't know about law, but I mean,
Safety?
It's just something that has to be done, and the airlines as well. They want somebody to go on and look after the horses because the pilot's job is to fly the aeroplane, so that,
Okay.
you know, they're not there to look after the horses.
Which is fair enough. They're there to fly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just let you go to get
Okay.
ready, and yeah, we'll follow you.
This is the horse stall that the horses travel in. There's 3 of them go in the stall. What we're doing at the moment is just preparing it. We have to put a liner down which stops urine leaking into the aircraft. We'll have some shavings on the truck that we have to put in. It's just a question of making sure we've got the roofing so that the horses are going to walk in quite nicely. The groom's already done most of that, so we're pretty close to being ready to start loading the horses now. We'll just need to make sure that we've got some ties in there. Come through, Bruce. Bruce Stewart and Saab Hassan. Saab's giving us a hand today to load. Rachel Ellis giving us a hand to load. Up you go, up you go. Up you go. No, they've all got leads. Hey. Stay there, girl. Come on, stay there. Stay there, stay there. Easy girl, easy girl. Easy girl, easy girl. Go on, girl, go on, girl, go on. Hang on, I'll just get this shaving. Oh, this is key. You just have to be careful when you offload them in New Zealand that you get them in the double up with their mate. Yeah. In you go, go. Go. You want? Easy. Got it.
Well, there you go, guys. That's all we've got for you. Crispin, thank you for that rare opportunity. Stay tuned for more Horse Rush.
Hi guys, welcome back to Horse Rush. Now I'm here with the newest member of the Horse Rush team, Antoinette Foster.
Hi,
welcome
how are you?
Antoinette.
Thank you.
Now for you guys at home, Antoinette will be covering the nutrition segments for the show.
That's correct.
So it's great to have you on board, Antoinette.
Thank you.
And this is Leroy, your lovely horse.
Yes, it is.
Now guys, we've had a lot of nutrition emails, so for the guys at home, could you please tell them a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My background originally, I began actually in human nutrition, and because I love horses so much and have been around them since I was about 5, I decided to study equine nutrition, and I've studied herbal medicine along the way and a few other courses. And I've actually specialised in equine nutrition for about 16 years. So there's obviously a lot involved in nutrition. It's not rocket science. It's not that complicated.
It's not that easy though.
Well, you know, I try and make it more simple, hopefully.
Well, at least you can help us out with it.
Well, I hope so.
Now, for the guys at home, it's a lot of things going to working out what our horses need to eat, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of aspects you have to think about when you're working out what you're going to feed. And for example, my horse here, Leroy, he's a dressage horse. He's actually a thoroughbred quarter horse cross, about 16 hands. Yep. And he works fairly hard when he's in work. Yep. At the moment he's on vacation, which is why he's feeling quite happy.
Oh, he's a horse.
But you have to think about you know, where your horse is actually located. There's a lot of environmental aspects there. For example, if you're living in a very hot climate, say in Queensland, for example, then you would have to look at obviously approaching feeding differently. But there's the age of the horse, the temperament, the sex of the horse, breed of the horse, where you might be working your horse, the surface of the horse, and also maybe the health history behind the horse as well.
The size,
the size.
Weight.
I think also too having perhaps previous knowledge, if you perhaps have owned the horse for a short time. But knowing and learning a lot about your individual horse is pretty important too. Yeah,
to work out what we need to feed.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, for the guys at home, you mentioned to me before that the size of the stomach of a horse isn't as big as we all think.
Yeah, I think people are under the misconception that a horse's stomach is quite large in comparison to the size of the animal. But in actual fact, the stomach for a horse this size, who's around, say, 50 kilos, is only the size of a Safeway shopping bag.
So
which is not
incredible.
very big. Yeah, and the whole digestive system is actually only the size of a garbage bag.
See?
So it's not a lot when you think about, again, the size of the horse.
And even their traits, like if they're a nervous horse, that all matters, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if a horse is very nervous, then you need to perhaps look at keeping your carbohydrate or energy levels down.
Yep.
Because if you have a very high energy diet and the horse is nervous, that tends to, of course, make matters a bit more complicated for the rider and for the horse.
Now, for the guys at home, you do something very interesting called equine profiling.
Yes, I do actually. We offer that service, and it basically allows the horse owner to put in as much information as possible about their individual horse.
Yep.
And we then prepare an individual feed program and a recommended if there's anything that we feel would be required in the horse's overall health and well-being. So it's quite, the most important thing that I've always tried to advocate is for people to understand that horses are biochemically unique.
Yeah.
And so we need to treat them that way. They're all individuals, they're all different, just like we are.
Well, Antoinette, we look forward to your segments on the show, and it's great for the guys at home to get some help as well.
It's great to be here.
Thank you. Now guys, that's it for Horse Rush for this week. So from the Horse Rush team, be nice to your horse, love your horse, and we'll see you next week.
As you can see, there's our transport. We're just waiting to get our luggage, and Gaucho over there is preparing, well, he's actually going to prepare the animals for us to ride. So if we just get a nice close-up.
Hello, Horse Rush TV.